The night had started like any other, the faint glow of city lights spilling through the curtains as she prepared for her work dinner with her boss, tossing me a kiss over her shoulder with that smug, self-assured smile I had once loved but had now begun to recognize as arrogance. I watched her leave, the soft click of the door behind her echoing in the apartment like a final punctuation mark on our life together. In that instant, I realized something she could never imagine. While she thought she was in control, the world she had always taken for granted, our life, our comforts, our home, was about to slip through her fingers. I had spent weeks planning, observing, learning her routines, noting her arrogance, her careless laughter, the way she never once thought of what it meant to hurt me, to ignore me, to take me for granted. She thought the house was hers, the luxuries, the clothes, the small treasures I had quietly accumulated over the years, all hers to dismiss, to mock, to flaunt in front of anyone she deemed important. Tonight, that illusion was ending. By the time she returned, the air in our home was silent, unnervingly so. No hum of music, no faint scent of perfume from a night spent in her own world. I had left no note, no hint, only the bare walls where memories had once lived, stripped clean like a stage before the final act. She stepped inside, her heels clicking against the polished floor, her confident smile faltering the moment she noticed the emptiness. "Hello," she called, her voice slightly tremulous, a stark contrast to the laughter she had worn earlier like armor. But there was no answer. Her eyes darted from room to room, each glance uncovering the absence of something she had never truly valued. The couch she had sprawled on carelessly, the book she had ignored, the dinner set she had mocked, even the small framed photos of moments we had shared, gone. Every comfort she had assumed would always be there, every token of stability she had treated with indifference, now vanished. Panic edged her voice. Where are you?" she whispered, the words catching in her throat. For the first time, she realized she was alone, truly alone, and the safety she had always assumed was eternal was gone. I had left more than the physical emptiness behind. Hidden throughout the apartment were traces of truth she had tried to bury. A playlist of songs I had created for our worst fights and best memories now played softly on loop, each note a dagger of remembrance. A small box on the kitchen counter contained the receipts of her lies, the messages I had discovered while pretending to be blind to them. Her betrayal, her arrogance, her casual disregard for the bond we had once shared, laid bare in a way she could not ignore. She moved through the rooms like a ghost, disbelief morphing into panic. She opened the closet where my clothes had been folded meticulously. Gone. She approached the bedroom, the place she had once entered thinking it was hers to control, and even there, emptiness stared back. Her hands trembled as she ran them over the sheets that were no longer ours, the drawers she had rifled through countless times now void. "Why?" she asked, her voice breaking, the arrogance that had once been her shield crumbling into raw fear. Outside, the city lights twinkled as if mocking her ignorance, as if celebrating the moment she realized that taking love and loyalty for granted came with consequences. I had left one last thing for her, a note, small, precise, and devastatingly truthful, placed where she would find it only after the initial shock had set in. It read, "Every laugh you shared at my expense, every comfort you assumed I would always provide, every lie you told and smile you faked, now it is gone. I am gone. And so is everything you never truly deserved. You had a chance to cherish me, to fight for us, to love me honestly. You chose arrogance. You chose betrayal. You chose empty words over a lifetime of trust. Now, you will live with the silence of your choices." Tears streaked her face, hot and unrelenting, as she sank to the floor, the echo of her own heartbeat the only sound in the apartment. Each second stretched into eternity, each breath a reminder of what she had lost. Her boss, the person she had celebrated with that evening, would never know the truth of what awaited her at home. He would never see the devastation she had caused herself. In that moment, she understood the weight of everything she had taken for granted. Love, trust, companionship, warmth, gone. The very foundation she had mocked and dismissed was reduced to ash, and I had left before she could plead, before she could apologize, before she could even comprehend the magnitude of her own recklessness. Her laughter from the evening before haunted her now, twisted into a memory of cruelty and her own foolishness. And yet, despite the heartbreak, despite the emptiness she now faced, there was clarity in her suffering. For the first time, she realized that love is not possession, that trust is not entitlement, that comfort is not forever. She had treated everything as infinite, never imagining a world in which it could be taken away, and now she lived in that world. The night deepened, shadows stretching across the empty rooms, and she sat there, broken and bewildered, alone with the stark reality that every comfort she had ignored, every moment she had trivialized, had been deliberately erased, not in anger, but in quiet, cold precision. I had left her not only the emptiness of our home, but the emptiness of her own choices, a mirror reflecting her arrogance, her betrayal, and the heartbreak she had caused. She whispered my name once, then again, her voice fading into silence. The walls held no answer, no echo of my presence, no comfort, only the truth she had refused to see. She would never forget this night, the night she came home confident, laughing, and full of life, and found that the world she had taken for granted, the life she had assumed was hers to manipulate, had vanished entirely. She had learned the cost of indifference, the price of betrayal, and the power of someone who had loved quietly, observed carefully, and finally, walked away with everything she thought she owned. By dawn, the apartment was still. The air held the scent of absence, the silence of truth, and the lingering weight of heartbreak. She would remember this night forever, the night when laughter turned to tears, when confidence shattered, and when the world she had assumed would always support her collapsed completely, leaving her with nothing but the echo of her own choices and the haunting realization that some mistakes are irreparable.